Folks, here we are with another musical moments with the HBC Collective, and I have my good friend with me, Mr. Melvin Jones. Melvin, man, it's good to see
Hey,
you. Man,
great to
we
see
haven't
you,
seen
brother.
each other since you were at Morehouse and I was at Clark Atlanta, man. And this,
Ah, man, that's a
hey,
while, brother.
it's been a while. It's been a while. Of course, you played with my jazz orchestra when I was at Mays High School, and
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the Evening of Elegance, that was cool, man. And
Ah,
you've
man.
been doing a lot of stuff, man. And for you to be, connected with HBCUs, and just tell everybody how HBCUs have meant so much to you and how it's played a part in a role in your career now.
Well, there's something to be said for getting a chance to learn along with your peers, but there's also something to be said for feeling represented amongst those peers. When I first set foot on I guess you could say AUC grounds, since it covered so many different schools, I was really just taken aback about all of the variety that you see in us. Normally, when you hear the word black or you hear African American, you get kind of a bubble or a different interpretation of it. But going to school there in Morehouse, being right next door to Spelman, which is right next door to Clark Atlanta, which at the time was next door to Morris Brown, there were so many different representations and shades of
Yeah,
us
yeah,
that it kind of elevated my entire spirit. It made me want to do more, it made me want to be more than even I thought was possible. And not to mention it came a time in which it really became clear what the word unity really means. So,
that's
it's
true.
number.
That's
I mean,
true.
we came from opposing schools
Yeah.
for when it came time for the football game, we were enemies. But when the game was over, we were hanging out. So, it's something to say for that, man. It's nothing but respect.
And now you're gigging and shedding with some of those same people that
Oh
you were in school
man,
with back then.
it's insane, man. It's insane. And then the full circle moment. I know you understand this as
Oh,
well,
yeah,
of running into like former students everywhere and seeing
absolutely.
the things that they've done. And I never feel like anything that happens in their lives is directly, any part of my doing. But to hear that from them, so genuinely, it takes me out, man.
Man, I
It's
remember
something.
just coming to a Tyler Perry play and seeing you in the band. I'm like, man, that's Melvin, you know.
Man.
And to get a chance
Bruh.
to rap with you then, man, it's just
Oh
amazing.
man.
You're doing so many great things. And I
Oh,
must
thank you, thank
first
you,
say,
brother.
man, hey, welcome to the Conn-Selmer family, being a
Ah
block
man.
artist, man. That's huge.
It's full circle, man. I mean, it was funny. I did a social media post today because I was literally just thumbing through some old photos, and I came across some really old gems, 20 years ago,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's when I realized, like, I've been playing these horns for a long time. So, to be a part of helping to create these instruments now, or kind of shape what the next generation of these horns is going to be, man, there are no words to describe it, brother.
Hey, man, we're glad to have you aboard. And I'm just glad to be able to work with you once again. It seems like
Yes,
we've been
indeed.
in two or three different phases in life where we've been able
Ah,
to work
man.
together.
We end
It's
up
been
where we're
huge.
supposed to be, apparently.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Man, I know you're doing a lot of playing. We talked about the fact that you play with a lot of our HBCU comrades, but who are
Yeah.
you playing with next? Who have you played with, man? Where has this music education thing
Oh
and this music
man.
performance thing taken you?
Yeah, that's the answer to that is pretty wild, brother. It's I I
Give us
just
a
got
taste
back.
of
Okay, so I'll go in reverse. I just got back from the Virgin Islands. I teach there as a part of a mentoring through the arts program, which puts me in contact with all of the public schools, and I work directly with the students in each of these schools as well as with their directors in the Department of Education to
yeah.
kind of make curriculum choices and to help, I guess, guide these kids to their next level of education. As a perk for that, the one of the people that runs the organization that brings me down is a phenomenal drummer named Dion Parson, um,
Yeah.
and he has a band called 21st Century Band, and it just immerses me in like soca and reggae and
Wow.
kwelbe and the different African styles of music combined with straight ahead jazz. And the
Yeah.
guys that are in the band, I mean, you got Ron Blake. The first time I was in there, I was subbing for another Conn-Selmer artist, Rashawn Ross,
Yeah.
who is just become a really close friend over the years now, and just that experience is crazy. Before that, I, before that, I just performed for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of the house band,
Yeah.
and man, to there are no words to even describe that. That's airing on HBO in like a week or so, And that, just walking past Paul McCartney and waving at Lionel Richie, shaking hands with Clarence Avant, and that, it's just mind blowing. And to get a chance to hang out with LL Cool J all day.
Did I see you in a picture with who was in that picture? It was a group of you on a stage, and you happened to get in and photobomb this picture, man. I was like,
it might have been that event.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was.
The stars just came. There was an event before that we did for Shaq when Snoop was one of the artists.
Yeah, it was Snoop. I saw Snoop.
Yeah, that was crazy. Another crazy event. And before I did that event, man, just out of the blue, I ended up playing with Stevie Wonder out in LA for the Global Citizens Festival, and just getting a chance to hang out with him, talk to him, and meet the family, and this is crazy, man. And tomorrow I'm taking off to head back on the road with Patti LaBelle again for a couple of days, and just spot dating in and out, and still teaching it,
man.
And still teaching at Morehouse and in Georgia Tech at the same time. This is, God is good, brother. That's all I can say.
Yeah, man. I'm just glad we got a chance to talk to you for a few minutes and then introduce you to everybody who watches in the HBCU Collective and everywhere else that we posted on social media, man. We just gotta show everybody the HBCU grads are out there doing the thing, man. And
they're out there heavy, man. They're
heavy out there.
Yeah. I mean, for years I was recording and touring with PJ Morton.
Right.
Just the association with them would bring me back in contact with a bunch of our other classmates. And it's just crazy to see where everybody is in life, man. It's going the way it should.
Man, if you had to give one inspirational word to HBCU music educators, HBCU students, and those who support HBCUs about how HBCUs really drive home what we believe in nurturing and excellence and success in our fields, what would you tell them?
I would tell educators to be careful in how they define success for their students, because oftentimes there's a false image of what success is, but in the end, it never really looks like what people think it does. And it's so relative. One person's win is not the same as another person's win, but that doesn't mean they're not both winning. And so I would caution educators to really be careful to not let money guide it, to not let, because I know people in all walks and income levels who all feel the same way about their careers, whether it be good or bad. So I really would caution them just to make sure that when you're defining success, you're making sure that these students are doing what they love for a living, and they're defining that clearly, because being a musician doesn't only involve playing the instrument.
Right. So what would you tell their student?
I would tell their student to not lose heart, because when we're talking about wins again, there's the easiest way to put this is that there is no shortcut to living your dream. Just period. That's the only word to it. And you won't know when it happens. You hope that you're wise enough to recognize when it is happening. So just to tell them to hold on, enjoy the ride, because it's, as many valleys as people like to talk about, those hills are spectacular. And the view from the top is amazing. So just, tell them to ride the wave, man.
A good friend of mine, Jack Edie, always says there's no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs,
man. That's it, brother. It's the stairs, man. And there's a long winding staircase.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Melvin, it was great having you on for these musical moments, man. And we hope to hear from you soon, man. Post some more social media stuff. We're going to follow you. Follow Melvin Jones, folks. Follow him. Thank you, Melvin. Appreciate you, man.
Love y'all, brother. Thank you, man.